A staggering 78% of Americans are now living paycheck to paycheck. Let that sink in. And here's the real twist. Most of them earn enough to comfortably cover their expenses. So, what's the disconnect? Why are countless hardworking people feeling financially trapped, perpetually waiting for the next paycheck to land? The culprit is rarely the size of their income. More often, it's the silent narratives, the deeply ingrained money scripts they repeat to themselves that hold them captive. If you ever thought, I will start investing when I make more, or perhaps budgeting is just a financial prison, then you need to stay right there, because those seemingly harmless thoughts aren't just costing you a few dollars. They are robbing you of years, sometimes decades of genuine financial freedom. Let's be clear, this isn't about shame or judgment. I've worked with hundreds of intelligent people who, just like you, were convinced these myths were facts. In the spirit of full transparency, I once believed a few myself, but today we are doing something different. We are ripping the band-aid of 5 of the most toxic money beliefs that keep capable people feeling broke and overwhelmed. My promise is this: if you can replace these outdated narratives with an empowered financial mindset, you plug the leaks in your financial boat, you start charting a course toward abundance, and you will finally take the helm of your financial destiny. So let's begin. The first myth is I don't earn enough to save or invest. First, we have the foundational myth, the one that sounds like an undeniable truth. I can barely make rent, there's nothing left to invest. In the moment, it feels completely real, but this is where cold, hard math reveals a different story. Let's run a quick scenario. Imagine you commit just $25 a week, less than $4 a day, to a simple broad market index fund. With a historically reasonable 8% average annual return, do you know what that becomes in 15 years? Nearly $45,000. That is the power of consistency, often unlocked by foregoing just a couple of takeout orders or a daily premium coffee. The real issue here isn't an income problem, it's a perspective problem, what I call opportunity blindness. We see investing as an exclusive yacht club reserved for Wall Street insiders and the ultra-wealthy. We forgot it can also be a simple fishing boat accessible to anyone with a few dollars and the discipline to start. This myth thrives on the outdated idea that you need a huge lump sum to begin. With micro-investing apps and fractional shares, you can now start with literal pocket change. That magic of compounding interest is a universal force, like gravity. It works for everyone, slowly but surely turning small, consistent contributions into a substantial nest egg. So, let's flip the script. Instead of I don't earn enough, the new story is even small amounts of money can grow into wealth if I put them to work. Now, here's your action step. Automate a transfer of $5 a day or $35 a week into a low-cost index fund or investing app. Set it and forget it. This single action builds the muscle of consistency, not waiting for windfall. You prove to yourself that you are an investor before your brain even has time to object. Next is the infamous debt boogeyman. And to be fair, some debt is terrifying. A credit card with a 20% interest rate is a financial vampire, slowly draining your wallet month after month. But this is where nuance is critical. That's like declaring all fire is destructive because you've seen a house burn down, completely ignoring the fact that controlled fire cooks our food and warms our homes. Is a 4% fixed rate mortgage on an income-producing rental property also bad? Of course not. That's a strategic tool used to build wealth. Not all debt is created equal. High interest, unsecured debt from things like credit cards and payday loans is a liability that actively dismantles your financial progress. But strategic debt, often called good debt, is an asset. This is debt that helps you acquire something that appreciates in value, generates income, or increases your earnings power, like a sensible mortgage, a student loan for a high return career, or a business loan. Believing all debt is bad often leads people to delay investing while they pay off low interest loans, a move that can cause them significant market growth. It's all about smart prioritization. Let's reframe this. High interest debt is a fire in my financial house that I must extinguish immediately. Strategic debt is a controlled flame I can use to forge wealth. Here's your action step. Conduct a debt audit. List every single debt you have along with its interest rate and purpose. Anything with an interest rate over 7 or 8% is your primary target. Attack it relentlessly with extra payments. For any debt below that threshold, make the minimum payments and prioritize investing, especially if an employer match is available. The math almost always favors this approach, allowing you to build wealth while responsibly managing your obligations. Okay, the next one. Budgeting is restrictive. When most people hear budget, they imagine a financial straitjacket forcing them to say no to everything they enjoy. They picture endless, soul-crushing spreadsheets, but a budget isn't a prison, it's a blueprint. It's the architectural plan for your financial life. A blueprint doesn't restrict the house. It ensures the house is built strong on a solid foundation and exactly as you envisioned. Your budget is your financial GPS, not a roadblock. It shows you the most efficient road to your goals, be it a new home or early retirement, while highlighting the financial speed traps and detours to avoid along the way. When my clients finally track their spending, the results are astonishing. Most people discover an extra $3,000 a month they didn't know they had, money lost in a fog of unexamined transactions. That's enough for a vacation, a maxed out Roth IRA over time, or a serious boost to your down payment fund. Budgeting isn't about cutting joy, it's about uncovering where your money is going without your permission, so you can redirect it to what truly matters to you. A budget doesn't restrict freedom, it creates it by giving you permission to spend lavishly and guilt-free on the things you value most. Here's your action step. Tonight, spend 10 minutes and assign every dollar of next month's income a mission before the month even begins. If you hate spreadsheets, use the 50-30-20 method as a simple guide. 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings and debt repayment. Just start. The feeling of control that follows is immediate and empowering. The fourth belief is I'm just not good enough with money. This belief is particularly insidious because it masquerades as an unchangeable personality trait, like having brown eyes or being tall. But here's the truth. Nobody is born knowing how to analyze a 401k statement or manage a credit score. Personal finance is not a talent, it's a learned simple skill. When you say I'm not good enough with money, what you are really saying is I haven't practiced these skills yet. The danger is that this statement creates a self-fulfilling prophecy. Your brain, eager to prove you right, will seek out evidence to support this belief. Then you avoid learning and procrastinate on financial tasks. Then, when a problem arises, you point to it as proof. See? I told you I'm bad with this. Financial competence isn't a gift, it's a muscle. Just like learning to cook or play an instrument, it simply requires practice and education. Let's reframe this powerful belief. Money management is a skill, just like any other, and I am capable of learning and mastering it through practice. Here's your action step. This week, choose one small financial sub-skill to focus on. Don't try to master everything at once. Maybe you just automate one transfer to savings. Maybe you read one chapter of a personal finance book. Or perhaps you watch one 10-minute tutorial on index funds. Competence, confidence, and control grow precisely where your attention and effort consistently go. You can become good with money, you just have to start practicing. Now the next one, if I can afford the monthly payment, I can afford it. This belief is the lifeblood of industries that thrive on consumer debt, especially car dealerships. They love this myth because it masterfully obscures the true cost of a purchase. A $400 truck payment stretched over 84 months sounds manageable, right? But the math reveals the trap. You are paying nearly $34,000 for a vehicle with a $26,000 sticker price. The low monthly payment is a Trojan horse, hiding an army of interest and fees. The issue isn't just the total price, it's the colossal opportunity cost. The monthly payment is like focusing on a single tree while missing the entire forest of financial consequence. Every dollar you spend on interest for a depreciating asset is a dollar that could have been invested and put to work for your future. This mindset keeps people on a treadmill of debt, forever paying for yesterday's desires while sacrificing tomorrow's security. You're burdening your future self with today's impulses. So, the new belief is this: the true price isn't the monthly slice, it's the total cost plus the worst growth on that money. Unless it's an appreciating asset, if I can't pay cash, I can't afford it. Here's your action step. Before your next major purchase, do this simple calculation. Multiply the monthly payment by the total number of months. Look at that final number. Now ask yourself, would I still buy this if the full multi-year price tag was displayed instead of the bite-sized monthly payment? If you hesitate, it's a clear signal to rethink the purchase, downgrade, or wait and save. Your future self will thank you. Alright, let's pause. In the comments below, share the number of the belief that resonated with you the most. Which one felt a little too familiar? Acknowledging it is the first step to conquering it. This final belief is perhaps the most destructive because it puts you on a hedonic treadmill that just speeds up every time you get a rise. You receive a pay increase, feel a temporary surge of excitement, and then your lifestyle expectations quickly expand to match. Suddenly, you're back at the same baseline level of happiness, just with more expensive habits. It's an exhausting and unwinnable race. Our research, including a landmark Princeton University study, has shown that while money is critical for stability, our day-to-day happiness tends to plateau once our core needs are comfortably met. In many places, this is around $75,000 income. Beyond that point, more money may buy more things, but it doesn't buy a significant increase in lasting joy or life satisfaction. Chasing a higher salary without fixing your internal blueprint for contentment is like trying to fill a leaky bucket. It will never feel like enough. So, let's reframe this understanding. More money provides options and security, but it cannot create my internal sense of happiness or fulfillment. Here's your action step. Each night, instead of dwelling on your to-do list, take 5 minutes to write a done list. Write down 3 things you accomplished or 3 things you are genuinely grateful for. This simple habit retrains your brain to recognize the abundance already present in your life. This beautiful side effect is that when you feel content and abundant now, the impulse to spend money to fill an emotional void dramatically decreases, breaking the cycle of chasing more. Ultimately, your income determines the size of your financial bucket, but it's your beliefs, those quiet, powerful stories you tell yourself, that determine how much water actually stays inside. If you evict the toxic myths we've dismantled today, I promise you stop pouring your hard-earned money through holes you didn't even know were there. Imagine the profound relief as your savings rate climbs, your debt shrinks, and incredible opportunities begin chasing you for a change. That isn't a fantasy. Is the direct result of a mindset shift. If this video sparkled a change in your thinking, please hit that like button. It signals the algorithm to share this information with others who need to hear it. Share this with anyone in your life who says they'll start investing someday. Remind them that financial freedom isn't a lottery ticket you hope to win. It's a detailed, actionable to-do list. And today, By deciding to change your mind, you've already completed the most important item on it. Bye.